Look at how good and healthy this man looks. Look at him drinking his healthy drinks. How good do you feel, Charles? Like you're looking skinny again? You're looking healthy? How good do you feel, buddy?
Hey, brother, Dr. Andrews told me, ain't no fat old people. Got to get my ass in shape, damn.
You've struggled with that, though, right? That's gone up and down over the years. Dr. Andrews been telling you that for a long time.
Yeah, but it didn't matter. It didn't bother me when I was, it didn't bother me when I was young. It bothered me now that I'm old.
It's nice to see you, buddy. It has been too long. Thank you for being on with us.
I was going to say, I miss Charles Barkley. He used to join us all the time. He's not around as much as he used to be. I see him in Lake Tahoe. He gives me a hug, but I miss you, Charles.
Hey, listen, all Dan got to do is call me. That's all he got to do.
You don't miss me, though. Okay.
Dude, I always got love here. You know that.
How did you react to the events of the weekend, seeing will there ever be a shooter like Steph Curry again? I know there hasn't been a shooter like Steph Curry, but will there ever be a shooter like Steph Curry again?
That's a great question. I doubt it. Number one, his range. Like, we've never had a player that once he steps across half court, you have to guard him. I mean, that's the thing that's remarkable to me. Like, most guys, you're like, yeah, you can take that shot. We don't give a damn. You're going to shoot from three-quarter court. It's good. But he makes them consistently. So, no, I don't know what the range, no. Because number one, I don't think you would teach anybody that, Dan.
Well, I don't even understand what I'm watching when I see him shoot with that kind of proficiency from that range. But how do you experience the game on Saturday? Like, where are you watching it, and what is your reaction to, Steph's got the ball, and all of the best players in the world are going to make sure to get him the ball wherever it is that he is, because everyone understands what they're watching, and he needs to be the one shooting?
Yeah, actually the last two games, I was actually visiting my grandkids. It was pretty cool. Shout out to little Henry and little Charlie, man. What a great weekend. But I made sure I want to watch both games. Because I told people when I was on the NBC last week, I said Serbia is a dangerous game, man, because they played possum the first two games. They didn't care because they wouldn't medal around games. And I says they got the best player in the world. So they got to be ready to play because they didn't even care in that preseason game and then the early round games. Those didn't matter. And I thought they'd be like, let's get the USA overconfident, and then we're going to punch them in the mouth when the game starts. And that's exactly what happened. And then obviously Steph took over down the stretch. And obviously yesterday, that was a heck of a game. They needed it all. But when he put on those displays the last couple of minutes, man, it was beautiful to watch. I don't think the game should be that close personally, because they waited to Serbia to play defense in the last quarter. They had to start the game like that. It would have been a much easier game. And I think, France is not good enough to beat them. And so it was a great thing. Man, and I've said this many times, the Olympics are the greatest sporting event in the world. There's nothing comparable to it. Not the Super Bowl, not the World Championship, not the Stanley Cup Finals is amazing. That's probably my favorite event, the Stanley Cup playoffs. But as far as the Olympics, Dan, Stu, it's the best thing I've ever been a part of.
You said you were critical of Kerr, and you said that that team should not be tested. And Kendrick Perkins said that was an asinine take. That of course they should be tested.
Well, first of all, don't bring up a guy who averaged 5 points a game. I'm not going to stoop to his level. You average 5 points a game, shut the hell up. Dan, let me ask you a question. Who was the second best player on Serbia?
No, buddy. Look, I don't think they should have been tested either.
No, but my question was, number one, they got Joker, but the second best player on their team was Bogdanovic. Does Bogdanovic make the United States Olympic team? Under no circumstances he make the Olympic team. I think they played too slow because you could see what Joker was doing. He was milking the clock. He would take the ball out of bounds and roll it up the court. They turned the 40-minute game basically into like a 35 to 37-minute game. So they let them play slow. I think they should have played a lot faster. And that every time we say something now, people go crazy. There's no reason for him not to play Jason Tatum. Jason Tatum would have been the second best player on Serbia. Probably would have been the best player on France. For him not to get any minutes in 2 games, come on, man, that wasn't right. That wasn't fair. If you go into the Olympics, you want to play. You want to play. So I was disappointed Jason didn't get to play. I was disappointed in Halliburton, especially early. Like, if you want to shorten your rotation in the last couple of games, that's fine. But them guys dedicated their summer to the United States to go over there and not get to play, I didn't like that at all.
Charles, would you be willing to take our recommendation that you change the name of the show from Inside the NBA to Outside of the NBA?
Yes.
Outside of the NBA.
Do it, Charles.
Hey, Dan. How about not NBA? Not the NBA.
Are you guys? You really have no idea. You're going to try and do the same show, but you have no idea what you're going to be talking about.
I'm so there for that, man.
Hey, Dan, 100%. And what's crazy? I think we're gonna have to pay for highlights.
What?
Yeah, for highlights of things that you don't have the rights to. Yeah, you will have to pay for video there to have video. I was explaining to them last week that would be a very difficult show for you guys to do without video of the NBA.
So I think we're gonna have to buy NBA highlight. I mean, Dan, it is such a fluid situation. The thing that's gonna be interesting is, we got the NBA all next year, no matter what. And it's going to be interesting what crazy ideas they come to us with going forward. That's what's going to be fascinating. Like, what do you guys think about doing this next year? And we're going to look at each other like, okay. So, like I say, man, it's a very fascinating situation. But the number one thing for me is my people at Turner get to keep their jobs for at least another year. And that's all I was concerned with.
Charles, how much money do you think that you left on the table in making that decision concerned about others?
A minimum of $100 million.
Jeez.
A minimum.
Man.
Yeah, because I imagine it was a lot of fun to be you recently, right? In free agency, that had to feel good, even as you're thinking to yourself in these meetings, because I talked to you a little bit at least. You're like, I'm not.
Yeah, 100%. It was a great feeling. And I want to thank all those networks for reaching out to me. It was really humbling and cool. It was humbling and cool. And so I really, it was really humbling and cool, to be honest with you. But I wasn't even like I said, Dan, even though they were throwing crazy numbers, I was like, damn. Yeah, but as long as I got my people safe at TNT, man, I feel really good. Like I say, they're going to pay me to go and talk about nothing, so I can't look a give horse in the mouth.
Before we
Hey, Dan, I probably would have had to do an honest day's work if I went to one of those other networks.
Not here, though, Charles. I mean,
not at Metal Arc Media.
Like
you would not have to do an honest day's work. We will let you go on this note.
I'm concerned for Charles because I feel like he's never going to quit. Because every year, Turner will send a new employee in there and say, hey, wife, kids, mortgage, and Charles is back.
That's what I would do if I were Turner. I would just keep sending employees with kids in to talk about their mortgages. It is. It's a good move. They know now how to sucker him. They will. They will have your.
Dan. Hey, Stu. I'll be coming into work with a cane and a walker. I'll be coming to work with a cane and a walker, like, welcome to outside. Well, no NBA.
Outside the NBA is good, Charles.
You've got it too young, Charles. They are going to have your coffin up there in a chair, and they're going to open it up and mic it up. Your coffin 7 years after your death.
Hey, I'll be like, Shaq, you got any more of that icy hot? Because I'm barely making it right now. I'm going to be putting icy hot on every part of my body, be borrowing it from Shaq.
Last thing before we let you go, Charles, your take on what is happening here 3 months outside of the election. Like, what have you found interesting as someone who is always interested in race in America and just the politics of America? What are you thinking here over the next 3 months?
Yeah, I was hoping she took Shapiro, to be honest with you, the governor of Pennsylvania, and Mark Kelly. I don't know a lot about her running mate, but I really am a big Josh Shapiro fan. And I'm a really good, I'm actually casual friends with Mark Kelly. I'm a big Kelly fan, him and Gabby. I love those two. I'm trying to learn. She's going to have to address the border situation because the border is a mess. The inflation thing, I don't blame inflation on whoever the president is, but she's going to have to address the border situation. The border is a mess. The woman dynamic is very interesting because, America is still sexist. Well, we can throw race in there too. They're racist too. So, man, it's a lot of moving parts. I'm not a Trump guy. I'm not, because I just think if you're going to be the president, you need to act a certain way. Even if I disagree with your politics, you're the president of the United States. You should be a gentleman and act a certain way. But I've got to learn more about her policies. Like I say, the border thing is a big deal to me, man, because we can't just let people come. And not only that, in some of these cities, they're getting benefits that Americans don't get. That cannot happen under any circumstances. Now, I'm all for immigration if it's done the right way, but we just can't have people jumping over here and giving them health care, putting them up, giving them stipends and things like that. That cannot happen, man. We got so many amazing people who bust their hump all the time. We need to be taking care of those people. So she's going to have to address the immigration thing for me. But like I say, I would have felt a lot better if she had taken Shapiro or Kelly. I don't know a lot about this governor, but man, I just hope it's civil. I just hope it's civil, because whether you're a Democrat, Republican, Independent, Conservative, Liberal, whatever, man, we're all Americans. We all want the same things. So I'm just hoping it's civil, because, man, we live in Dan, we're such assholes here. These politicians, both parties are awful. And we're kind of like pawns in a chess game, and we don't even know we're pawns in a chess game. They're just moving us all over the place to piss us off, to make us mad and vote one way. But man, we're all from the United States. We're in the best country in the world, and we don't appreciate it. And that's probably the thing that frustrates me the most.
Love you, buddy. Good catching up with you. Thank you for making the time. Yes,
hey, Stu.
Yeah. Yep.
Here we go.
Dan's an ass. Okay.
Yep. Your words,
Dan,
not mine.
Have you? Yeah. Okay. Well. Okay. I'll worry about the DM you sent me. Dan,
yes.
Have you ever asked me to be on your show, and I didn't be on your show?
No.
Okay. So don't act like I haven't been on your damn show.
I didn't say it. He did. I didn't say that.
He hasn't asked you in a while. I just said I missed you. That's all. It was just me saying I missed you, Charles.
Man, Dan, I've told you, Dan, Stuart, no disrespect to you. Dan, I love you like a brother, man. Your mom is one of my favorite people in the world. I love sending her pictures of my grandkids. Now, I want to punch your dad in the head, okay? I'm trying to get Dana White to do an MMA fight between me and your dad. Because I don't want to come to your house. I don't want to come to your house and see you. I want the America to see me beat his ass. I want the whole wide world to see me kicking his ass.
He's Biden's age, Charles. What is the appeal on pay-per-view of you kicking my dad's ass?
Oh, I'm there.
So what? We gonna get him to run for president too?
See you later, Charles. I'll send my father your regards.
Hey. Send your dad this.
Okay, there it is. There it is. See you later.
That's the oldest you've ever looked.
See you later, Charles.
Love y'all.
I love you, Charles. See you.